So good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Thanks for coming to my talk so early in the morning. I hope the party was good yesterday. So my talk is going to be about a decoupled Drupal commerce application with React Native. So basically, we're providing, like, together with a shop that we're building, a native app for customer engagement. And this one is like written in React Native, and hopefully will give the customer like a lot of like good interaction points with his clients. Just briefly about us, our company. We are 1xINTERNET from Frankfurt, with an office in Spain as well. We're around about like 25 people, really international team. So our company language is also English, and we have people from all over the world like working with us, which is really great. We focus on Drupal, obviously, and Bati, one of our co-founders, is even in the Drupal Association, in the board, like you probably have heard of her. And our main focuses are, like, as said, like Drupal and React development, and other things that like agencies like to provide to their customers, like digital strategy and online marketing. And last but not least, we have a good hosting solution that we offer our clients for their websites. We've been strongly involved also like in distributions, like the eGov, which is like for the German public administration, and we're Thunder integrator. We are partnering with Image X Media from Canada with OpenEDU, and yeah, we're also commerce partners. So just quickly, I mean, like this is a bit of a, it's going to be a showcase and a little bit like also more in technical depth, like about the React Native and the connection like to the Drupal backend. So it's going to be a little bit of both, and I hope you can take something like for your own like projects, and like maybe just also get like interested in React Native development, because it obviously offers like a good possibility to build like native apps for your clients, like with technologies that you might be using anyways, and like it has also like the great advantage that you build like once for both big platforms, iOS and Android. So, Eldum is like a company in Iceland. They do like the same thing that HelloFresh does. So basically, you subscribe or buy like a meal kit, and then you will just get delivered like sort of like a box of ingredients and like recipes. And so you buy this like sort of, let's say like you get it delivered on Monday, and then you have like 3 evenings you can just like cook the recipes that like are for the week's menu. And ideally you have a subscription, get like one of these boxes every week, don't need to think about like what to cook and like where to get the ingredients from. So it's like really popular over there, and they've been on the market for quite a while, and running on Drupal 7. And for them now it's time like to move to a new platform that like gives them greater flexibility and allows them to do more stuff. We're gonna come back to that like a little bit like later when I tell you like what new features like this new platform will have. So why an app and why React Native? Like I already mentioned it like briefly before. So an app, because like that is like good for customer engagement, right? If you have an app, like, so people like, for example, currently they get the recipes printed out and delivered like with their food box, right? So now they are gonna have like sort of cooking instructions on their iPad, on their iPhone or whatever, and they will always have access to all the recipes that they have already gotten delivered. So like even if you just think like I want to cook like this awesome recipe from the other day, but I'm like ordering like straight from Eldum, I still have it at my hand, and have cool features like, let's say, like cooking timers and stuff like that. It's completely like you can switch like for how many people you're cooking and things like that. So it's a great extra value for the customer. And plus the other big feature is actually push notifications, obviously, because like now they do like a lot of like SMS notification, and they want to like sort of like switch most of it like to push. And so we have like a integration with like with a service, with an omni-channel service that like allows sort of like to define like a sort of a scenario where you would say like, okay, send this person like a push message. If the push message doesn't get through because like maybe he doesn't have the app, then just send an SMS. If that doesn't go through for whatever reason, then just like fall back to an email. Yeah. So then we're going to have a short overview, like and demo of the website, like what the backend is all about. As you can imagine, like if you think about it, like yeah, you buy a meal kit, you maybe subscribe to a meal kit, but the price of a meal kit depends like sort of on the ingredients, so on the recipe, and those recipes like or the menu, let's say, like the week's menu, you know, sort of like it depends on a schedule because you can buy it only for 1 week. So it's from the commerce perspective, is also like a rather complex product because it changes every week, right? If there's no menu for next week, there's nothing to buy for you there. Then I'm just going to quickly demo like the React Native app and give some technical detail on how it like talks to the backend, and just like give a short overview of the roadmap coming up. So I already talked a little bit about like this Eldum Riet. Exactly, you can like buy or subscribe like to food boxes. We're migrating everything to Drupal 8, so like basically we're also migrating everything that all the orders that they already have, and from the key facts is like complex pricing and then really configurable products, right? They want to offer in the next step also that you subscribe to a meal kit, you get like sort of like, let's say 3 recipes like are the default, but they are then also going to offer like sort of like I can change a recipe for another one because like I don't like the special one or something like that, or even like a completely flexible one where I can just like choose from all the recipes available and say like I want to have my menu for this week like with this and that and this other one. Single purchases and subscriptions. So you can obviously skip deliveries, right? If you say like, oh, I'm going on vacation next week, then I'm going to skip my subscription for a week. I can also pause them. And what's like mostly interesting for them is because like they already get to your home, like, right? They already deliver like food to your home. So for them, the step to say like, okay, so like if we're just already delivering to you, like why can you not just buy also like other groceries with us, right? Which is like sort of like the holy grail of e-commerce, where it's moving. It's like, can we move the supermarket to people's homes, right? And a lot of companies are trying this, and they have the big advantage that they already deliver like on regular basis to the customers, so they could just also add like stuff on top. And like then the other one, like as I already mentioned, also like the flexible multi-channel notifications. Now with background image. Yeah, so the app. So I already talked about like why React Native. I mean, basically, we don't do like native app development. It's not our focus, but we do React. And like with React Native, we found like a great tool to be able to deliver like also native apps that are sort of like compatible like on both platforms, and where the technology or it's not so different from what we already do. It provides like possibilities like for status updates and notifications. They can engage with the customer like by pushing like promotions and things like that, and like obviously like the recipes and cooking instructions like I already said. Yeah, I mean native apps like integrate like sort of like with the native widgets of the platforms, which allows you like to do also a bit more than you might be able to do like with just with a mobile or like with a web-based app. Even though like if you go there on what web can do today, it's pretty impressive like how deep you can integrate like also with the of the phone from the browser like in nowadays. So the backend is Drupal Commerce 2. We use the recurring framework for subscriptions and payments like card on file. Shipping, we have a pretty neat solution that is like with the packaging. We use the card API because we have our own React card implementation for this, and yeah, and so for messaging, we use like the message stack from that like contrib from Drupal, and we have this Omni integration where you can sort of like define your flows of delivery, right? Like email, SMS, push. It does also Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. So it's really flexible, and you sort of like throw your message in, and the system tries to deliver like sort of like in the order that you gave priority to the customer. We have obviously then also like an activity stream, all messages like you can also like sort of see in your activity stream. Voting API for ratings, flags for favorites, Solar for order lookups, and migration from Drupal 7 to Drupal 8, which can be like a challenge if you have a lot of legacy orders and legacy products and stuff like that, and you need to integrate this into your system. And let's have a look. So this is not the final front page. So it's a staging system. But basically, like what I want to show here is, so we have, and these are demo data. Usually you would have like 3 or more like recipes like on a menu, right? So here, for example, it is like, this is like the current sales week, you know, like delivery begins like on 12th of November, and you have like 4 days sort of like to order like this menu for the upcoming week, and like it would have like these like recipes, like in this case, like this is like the Heilsupacken, not even sure what that exactly means, right? But they have like all these packages, like sort of like without fish, or like healthy, or paleo, or vegan, and stuff like that, that they offer. And like, since we're just like talking about like that, like menu changes every week, right? You can also like sort of navigate through the menu. Like this is the one from last week, so this is like not, you can't order this anymore, right? And this is the kind of like packages like that they would provide you. Basically, what you subscribe to, or what you also then buy, are like the packages, right? Because like so if I buy just like a regular package today, I will just get like the menu from next week. But if I have a subscription, I'm getting like the each week a new menu. And here, like, it's also interesting because like basically you can only buy this if there's like a schedule for the upcoming week, right? And so like they need to take care, like sort of like to plan their like menus like at least 2 or 3 weeks in advance, like so you can just actually like even buy this. We have here like sort of for each package, we also show like the menu that you can just like also browse back and forth, right? And we have here like a nice little subscription or like cart integration, right? That would just like give you the option to buy these products for subscription or for one-time purchases, right? What? So this is not supposed to be like this. Let's fill out the email address then. What? It's like not letting me through. I don't know. Should be okay. Well, then let's just create a new account. Maybe that goes better. Okay. I actually basically want to show you like the shipping because that's the interesting part. The rest is just like filling out data. Now I need like a test credit card. Almost there. So now we're checking like the credit card. Okay, all good. So we have some interesting stuff here. because like, so like as clients are, you know, they like solutions that are already out there, and they want them to be mimicked, like, so sort of like their customers just like feel like at home. So they chose like Amazon as an example. And so the idea here is like to say that I'm going to be able like to, we use like entity browser for this, that you can just like sort of like pick one of your shipping profiles or create a new one here like in an overlay, right? And same for the payment methods. And what we've built in here, which is like quite nice, and like, I mean, the packaging system like from Drupal Commerce like helps a lot, is like we can choose like a shipping preference. So like you saw that we have like this vegan pack like twice in there, but one we have it for a subscription, and the other one we have for a one-time purchase. So like we actually need to provide like shipping shipping options like for both of them, right? And I gave in my postal code, and the postal code says like sort of like allows me for these shipping methods. You know, like I could use like that they send it home to me, right? For like 750 krona on Tuesday the 13th, right? And or I could pick it up myself on Monday the 12th, or also on Tuesday the 13th. And so this is like for the first package. For the second one, I have exactly the same options. So in this case, actually, I could just also do like, so the individual packing would be like, get my items as fast as possible. The combined packing would say like I want to get like everything like in one delivery, right? And then like my options just go down. It says like, hey, you will get everything on Tuesday the 13th of November, like delivered to your home, which is like quite a quite sort of like sophisticated like shipping method. Then we have like sort of like typical thing is like a little bit like on like a dashboard thingy with my default profiles, with my latest orders, and with my subscriptions and stuff, right? And then I have like a messages feed, and then I can just edit my profile and stuff like that. Okay. Where is the presentation? Okay, so this was just like a quick look into the shop itself. So for the React Native, we use like the following technologies. Like one is GraphQL. If you have used it, you will probably like also like it a lot. Like from how it's how easy it is to use. Like how easy it is actually like to get the data that you want out of your Drupal system, because like GraphQL sort of has like the whole entity tree, like knows it, and like offers you even autocomplete like for getting everything you want to have. We use OAuth 2 for like authenticating the users like to the backend, right? And we have then here React Native, obviously, like for the app development. We use the Apollo client, which is like the like a GraphQL sort of like middleware like for React. We have then like in the app also like actually real native, like sort of like iOS and or Android components. This is only though like this Omni client library that like allows for like push notifications, and like also like when you sign up or when you log in into your app, like to sync like your user data back like to the Omni system. So these are some bit older screenshots, but I have also like an emulator running here. Maybe just like a nicer background. You can actually see something. So here we can log in, and if I'm not completely mistaken, then the new user that we just created should be also available here. Yes. So like the user that we just created, like when we checked out, is here, and as you can see, here's also my order, like. Right, so I have this vegan plugin, like the small one, and like a big one that I just bought, like on the website, right? And the app also like sort of handles like notifications, which I don't have any at the moment. We have also like you can see like we're just working on the front end still, right? But we have like sort of like a menu here, and what's maybe more interesting is like sort of here I can see like the meal kits that I can buy because they have like current schedule, right? And so I can see this information here as well, and I can see an overview of the current and upcoming menus. So for example, like now, like week 44, right? We have like menus for the vegan packing, for the paleo packing, and we have like all these recipes available. And if we go to the recipe overview, we also have like a search with GraphQL search, which is also like another great module extension for the GraphQL. And so like here, for example, let's go crunchy, we can hopefully find something. Yeah, so apparently like the image is not the one that's supposed to be, but like I guess like we're on the right yeah, so and on the recipe you get obviously like all your information, like the ingredients, and you can actually start cooking, and you get like your instruction pages where you just have like sort of like this is like step number 1, this is a preparation step, and then you can just like go here through the steps. It can have images as well, and then like after the last step you can actually like do a rating and write some feedback. And that's it for this. So we have most of the functionality is there. We're but not all of the design work. So like it's gonna look awesome when it's finished. Yeah. So for the details, like as I said, GraphQL. Not sure like if this is new for all of you, but like so we really like the approach of like of how GraphQL allows you to query data, like sort of complex data, like in a really easy way. So for example, in this case, like we have like a query for recipes, right, for a certain user, and we can just like pull the fields that we like. I think this special case is like a GraphQL view with a contextual filter, but you can just query everything like in a really easy manner. What we do like to make sure that our API doesn't break, because it's obviously really generic. So like the paradigm there is to say like, well, I mean, you don't version your GraphQL API, you just add the stuff that you need, and you don't break the stuff that's already there. So that's like how we're doing it. What we do though, like to be like sure about that, is we have the native app like has like a test client for the GraphQL API that runs on build. And so what we do, like after building like the main application, we have a consequent like build of the app that sort of like when it fails, then you know that something in the API changed. Yeah, this is just like OAuth. Pretty straightforward. You just send like a grant request, and you get like an access token and a refresh token, and like with the access token, you can just like sort of like identify yourself. You send this like as a header, and it's good to go. So here, Apollo client, just like quickly how this looks like. I mean, you have a query. Like, I mean, here you just write in your query. You see like this is like more or less like the same thing that I showed you like in the GraphQL Explorer, right? And then you have like here the React component, right? That basically like takes the query and shoots it like to the server, right? And then you just like get like your variables back, and then you can just like render them out. So it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, roadmap. So I had this talk before, like in Drupal Dev Days. So some of the stuff is already there. Yeah, so like what's like coming in, like it's already in the backend is like timers, which is like quite nice. Like so you can just like go and like for each like recipe step you can define a timer. Like for example, like I don't know, fry the meat or something, and then like as you turn on the timer here, it would just like run in the background and like notify you when you're supposed to take out the pasta or something. Yeah, so that's React Native with Drupal Commerce 2. We've had a lot of learning and fun like throughout this project. It's not even finished now, but we're getting there. And yeah, I mean, we are also like as a company always looking for nice and talented people. So just get in touch if you want. And thank you. And if you have any questions, shoot them.
Any? It's a trail. Any questions?
Yeah. So that's your daughter and your son and my daughter. It's like the small Drupalistas.
Hello. Are there any design system like material design for the React Native so you can build the UI faster?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
Are there any design systems, templates like for React Native, like material design, for example?
Yes, they are. So there's like something called it's native base, and that sort of like mimics like all the widgets that you have, like both for Android and for iOS, right? And we try to use those, like, you know, like, I mean, yeah, you can always build something custom, but if you want it to just like sort of nicely run on both platforms, you should try to, I don't know, like if you have like tabs or slidable tabs or something like that, then you should just like use something that like works for both, and native base like provides like a good basis for that, and you can just then tweak it a little bit, like, you know, but like you know that these components will just work on both systems and yeah, not give you any problems.
And they, in the end, look actually like native components.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so like actually on native base IO, you can actually see them, and it shows you like sort of like the result in iOS and in Android. So you can just like, there you also see already that like they're always a bit different, you know, but they serve the same purpose, and like, and yeah.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Mr. Weber? If that's it, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We also have a gift for you as our speaker.
Ah, great. Thank you. Nice.